In order to manifest the life that I currently have right now, I had to not allow other people's limiting beliefs to affect me. Our beliefs create reality, and how many of those beliefs are actually our own? Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the B community. On this channel, we talk about the law of attraction, spirituality, self-development, and so much more. And today, I just wanted to get on here and talk about limiting beliefs. And I love talking about limiting beliefs because it gives me a chance to talk about the subconscious mind, which I am a little bit obsessed with. And it allows me to just kind of check in with you guys and just give you our yearly, at least, reminder that what we are believing is creating our life. We have this thought belief cycle that what we think becomes our beliefs, and what our beliefs becomes our life, our physical reality. 90% of our reality is manifested from the subconscious mind. And what exists deep in the subconscious mind, those are our beliefs. And a lot of those tend to be limiting beliefs, especially for people who don't do a lot of inner work, right? And even if you do, it's like a constant, lifelong process. For me, it's a daily thing. I spend time with people who don't do inner work, right? And they are still filled with limiting beliefs. In my family, my friend groups, people I've dated, a lot of men I've dated have tried to put their own limiting beliefs on me. And I have always seen myself as so exceptional, which I'll talk about in a second, that it's just like, I can't even imagine where they're getting this from. I'll tell you stories in a second, but let me give you that belief system. So as I was saying, rewiring my subconscious mind and working through limiting beliefs is a lifelong process. It's not a one and done process, but there is this one overall over-encompassing belief that I adopted early on in life that I do believe has been the thing that propelled me to be as successful as I am in various areas of my life. And that belief is that I am the exception and that I am exceptional. Think about it. A lot of us grow up thinking that we are just like everybody else and that whatever is happening to other people is going to happen to us as well. So imagine reprogramming your mind to think that that's actually not the case, that for you, things will be different. For you, things will be better. You are the exception. You are exceptional. And I believe that belief system that I programmed into myself from quite a young age, that I really repeated and affirmed to myself over and over throughout the years, is what created the life that I have right now. And I'm sharing that with you because I want you to take that onto your belief systems. I want you to believe that you're the exception and you are exceptional. So whatever it is that other people are telling you, if people are telling you, oh, you're too old to find a partner, or the career that you want is too hard. I tell you guys this all the time. People told me a lot for the entire first year of my YouTube career. Oh, you started too late. I started too late. 5 years later, and it's, given me a life of incredible prosperity and abundance and fulfillment. So don't listen to other people, because other people are carrying their own limiting beliefs that somebody else programmed inside of them, and they're pushing it at other people because it's kind of a validation. It's kind of like, well, this is true for me and I want it to be true for you. And they don't do this consciously. It's not a nefarious, evil thing that they're doing. It's a very, very unconscious process that we put our limiting beliefs on other people because we want to feel like we're not alone. We want to feel like somebody else is experiencing the same thing. And so we are programmed into these people from the ages of 1 through 7. Talk about that in a moment. To be these kind of vessels, these sheep-like vessels. I'm sorry to call us sheep. We're all together in this though, okay? Who follow the popular opinion, who follow the status quo because it must be right if everybody believes it. But imagine that a group of people and each one of them has doubts about what's happening, but everybody else is doing it, so they might as well do it. So we're consistently reaffirming this story. And you can be that one black sheep that's like, no, I don't like this. I'm going to step out of line. I'm going to think for myself. And I'm going to decide I am exceptional. I'm the exception. It can happen for me. Somebody has to do it. Why not me? That was one of the things that I told my grandma, I told my mom, I told my dad. And it stayed with them. And it's, at the time they were questioning me. I wanted to be an actress when I was when I was little, and I would drive so far to do background work and to do all these auditions. And I remember my grandma really was like, stop with this daydream, stop, go get a good job at the bank. And I just kept telling her like, no, Safta, I am the exception. I'm exceptional. I'm going to make something out of myself. And I did. And she's very proud of me now. She also doesn't remember saying that, but that's okay. God bless her soul. So how are we programmed? If you don't know about this already, since I feel like I'm a broken record, let me know if this is new information for you so that I know that I can keep teaching it. But from the ages of 1 through 7, we cannot differentiate reality from fantasy. This is scientifically proven. Look it up. We are oscillating through the theta and alpha brainwave states, which just so happen to be the most optimal brainwave states that we as adults still go throughout the day. The most optimal ones for manifestation and for healing. So when we're in deep hypnosis or deep meditation, or when we're waking up or when we're going to sleep, those in-between states of consciousness, that is when we are most programmable. That is when we are most suggestible. So imagine being this little human running around the world like a sponge, and everything is reality to this little creature. And so if somebody tells you that you're a bad singer when you're 4 years old, you're going to take that with you for the rest of your life and never sing again. Or if somebody tells you you're an incredible artist when you're 6 years old, you're going to take that and you're going to probably pursue art, or at least find yourself to be very talented and very good at it. So the way that we were raised between the ages of 1 through 7 have deeply impacted the way that we live our lives as adults, or as teenagers, or young adults, pre-teens, whatever it is, right? And so we have all these beliefs that come from our families, our friends, our neighbors, our caretakers, our teachers, and increasingly so from television and media. And these beliefs, they're not our own, but they shape the very fabric of our reality. It's really important to recognize that we have been turned into somebody who kind of simply believes something because of the rest of the majority believes in it, because then we can start to question everything. And it's time to start questioning everything. If you want to change your life, starting with questioning your belief systems, that's number one, because you're going to see that you've had a lot of blind spots, and that there's all these things that you thought were truth, but were really subjective, and that you've taken on as fact. And that if you've taken it on as fact, it shaped your worldview. It shaped your perspective. And in essence, it shifted the very fabric of reality, because the universe is always giving us evidence for what we believe in. So if you believe that you are not worthy, you're going to continuously manifest and pull to you experiences that reaffirm that you are not worthy. And that's why affirmations, as far as I'm concerned, are so powerful, because if we hammer it into our minds that we are worthy and we are deserving, what happens is this thought, belief, feedback loop. And I talk about this a lot in the Love Mastery program and the School of Prosperity. This thought, belief, feedback loop. It's like you have this thought, it becomes this belief, and then you get evidence for it. And once you get evidence for it, it is solidified for you. So the thing is that some people will get a small evidence and they'll overlook it. And then they'll start to ignore all the evidence and all the signs that they receive from the universe. But that's not us. That's not you. That's the 1% of people who are conscious and who are consciously manifesting their reality. We must focus on the evidence that we are being provided. So I didn't grow up rich, right? My parents struggled. We were in poverty, and then we went back up and then back down. And so my parents worked really, really hard to provide for us. You know, I only learned very recently how hard it was for my dad and my mom to get me through college. They made it seem so easy, but they were really struggling, and they were really worried and hoping that they will get the money for that next payment, right? I took student loans, but they helped me so much, right? And they were working so hard for that. So I'm very grateful for them, but they both came from kind of these lack sort of mindsets, and that's why it was really hard for them. And now they've completely changed their mindset. My dad has completely done a 180 with his finances and everything. It's absolutely beautiful to see, and it came from inner work. It really did. So yes, I didn't grow up rich, especially in juxtaposition to some of my friends that I grew up with. And I always had that kind of perspective where I saw what I had and I saw what other people had, and my parents really did do everything they can to give us everything that we needed, and they were amazing. But I did see a disparity there. I saw a difference, right? And my mom is more on the frugal side, so she really did hammer these, we can't afford it, we can't have this, these kind of beliefs in me growing up. But 20 years later, where I am right now, creating wealth for me is the easiest thing to do. It is a part of who I am. Everything that I touch turns to gold. And let me tell you, that all happened through changing my belief systems. That is because of this thought belief system that I've created myself. So I first had to really analyze what beliefs I had around money and wealth and around my own success. And I took inventory of which beliefs were serving me and which were clearly getting in the way. I became really, really mindful when I spoke to people. This is so important because we are constantly reaffirming what we believe about ourselves and our lives in our conversations. When we speak out loud, when we speak internally, and when we're texting and tweeting and whatever it is that we're doing, we're constantly affirming our stories. So I completely changed my thought patterns and my speech to never speak into reality that which I did not want, like scarcity and lack. And yeah, I got a little crazy about it. I put it very often into my speech. I would say, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich with my friends, and I hammered it into them to do the same. And if anybody in my close circle would ever say to me, like, I can't afford it, or I'm broke, I know this might sound a little, this could trigger some people because money is always a topic that triggers people, but I would not allow people to say that around me. If you want to talk that way, please don't talk that way to me. I don't want to hear about your financial issues. I want to hear about where you are succeeding. I want to hear about where you are thriving. Because when we talk more about those good things, we are creating more of those good things. And now nobody in my inner circle, none of my family, nobody talks poorly about money, and I have seen it impact their finances and how they live their lives so much that it was worth being a little bit obsessive over it in the beginning. It really was. And affirming to myself that I'm rich over and over again, believe it or not, you don't have to believe it, but it works, okay? If you believe it, it will work. If you don't believe it, it won't, right? The universe is going to constantly give you evidence for what you believe in. So let's talk about evidence. This is kind of what I want to get into. One of the ways that I started gathering evidence for my wealth, for my procurement of wealth, for my manifestation of abundance, is I kept an abundance log. Okay. And so whenever I received anything of value, anything, even, if somebody bought me a coffee, I'd write it down. I'd keep a log of it. If I found a penny on the floor, I would pick that penny up, I would give thanks, and I would keep it logged in my abundance log. And what that is doing is it's keeping track, it's keeping evidence of the universe providing for you what you are believing in. And little by little, that evidence got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so, of course, this could be for any belief system that you create. It doesn't necessarily have to be with finances, but I know that that's something that all of us want. We all want to be able to touch anything and turn it to gold, right? Except for our loved ones or whatever. A little Midas touch reference. But there are things like, you want to have your meet your soulmate. This is something that we do in Love Mastery program, is we keep a love list. So if you're manifesting your soulmate, if you're manifesting a partner, keep track of everything that you love in your life. Keep track of everything that elicits love out of you. What makes you feel loving? What makes you feel loved? Is it that cute person giving you a smile in the coffee shop? Or is it your pet giving you kisses? Or is it your mom hugging you tightly? Or is it your friendships that bring love in you? Or is it your self-love? Where can you find love already? Where can you find evidence that you already have love in your life? So just really keeping track of that evidence is going to solidify your belief systems, because once we have a little bit of evidence, we're like, oh, this might be real. Okay, paying attention to that evidence, and then more things will happen. And it's this thought, belief, evidence, feedback loop. And it's really cool, and it's a really powerful manifestation method and a way to change our lives completely. And then, like I was mentioning earlier, this is a constant process, because you're going to have new people in your life. You're going to have people who question your beliefs. And how do you deal with that? And what can I tell you other than to just tune it out and decide, this is this person's belief system. This is what they believe for themselves and about themselves. I get to choose what I believe about myself. It's very funny that I've dated a lot of men who I'm honestly more successful than them. And so they don't know that, because I don't talk about it other than when I'm trying to teach about manifesting wealth, right? That's not something I speak about on a daily basis. So they'll tell me things like, why are you wasting money on an apartment and also you have a house? Or why are you doing this? Or you could be saving money doing this and doing that. And they're trying to help me, because from their perspective, they think that I'm doing something wrong. But I choose to have my own belief systems, to believe in things my way. And I know what's going on behind the scenes. And I know how powerful of a creator I am, and that I will politely decline all their advice, all their suggestions and tips for me. In regards to my friends and family, everybody's always working through their own things. So just remember that the people in your life, they don't mean to harm you by putting limiting beliefs on you, but it is your responsibility whether to accept those beliefs or not. So my loves, I hope you enjoyed that little refresher or maybe introduction to how beliefs shape our reality and shape our lives. If you did like it, please give this video a thumbs up and let me know what belief system you're working through. Let me know and let everybody know what beliefs you are encoding into your reality to change the very fabric of your reality. Your comments mean a lot to me and they really support the channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know why you haven't. Have I not earned that subscribe? Can you press it? I think I am deserving and worthy of your subscription because I am exceptional and I am the exception, and so are you. Okay, I love you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Until next time, keep your vibrations way, way, way up. Bye.